So, a few months ago, well, 3 months ago, my daughter posted a picture of a shawl with a pocket. And there were patterns you can buy. Who needs a pattern, okay? So I started out with 3 double stitch rows and made it to the length I wanted. It ended up too long. It stretches. You have to factor that in. I'm new to making my own patterns of something that you would wear. Stuff of baby blankets and such, that's different. So, and then I fell in love with this stitch, and I'll try to post a link in the descriptions. But I wanted it wide. I had a bunch of this yarn, so I made her one, and the first one I made, I basically doubled it up. I didn't do the scallops on that one, and then I ended up tacking the pocket so it wasn't, going to flip out all the time, and gave her a choice of this one or that one, and she chose that one. I like the smaller pocket, so I'm happy with this. And as you can see, just double crochet rows. It's going to stand out, so I might as well make it stand out. And I like this. You just wrap this around and you can put your hands, from underneath. I'm not going to model. I'm still in my jammies. So that started that. And I had a whole bunch of this yarn. They were small skeins. This is the lightest, thinnest yarn I've worked with ever. I take that back. I've done some doily type stuff, projects with really thin yarn, strings. But I went ahead and did that same cross hatching. Isn't that neat? I love that. I love this pattern. It's just a little different from single, double, treble stitches, half doubles, and whatever. So I did the triangle, and then I just started going around and around with what was left of the yarn. So I need to close this off, but I'm just debating doing something at the point. I don't know. So I did this, and it didn't take long, and I like this. Is a light shawl that I may keep in the car, because even when you're dressed and it's 90 and triple digits here, you go inside to a building and you're dressed for the 90 something degrees, the heat and humidity, and you get slapped with air conditioning and you are literally freezing. Going to church, which I hope to go back soon, I always keep a sweater or light jacket or something so that I don't freeze while I'm in church. And this is a different gray, the same type of yarn, and I even thought about maybe taking it apart and making a light border for the shawl. I don't know, it's just a small, very small brain's gone, scarf. Maybe I can make it an infinity scarf, so you can just put it on and just kind of give it a twist. Maybe put a little, like a bolo type thing on it. A hairband. If you have a pretty hairband, beads and stuff, you can put it on and make it look like a tie for it. Jewelry, actually. I only had one skein. Okay, people, keep in mind, I know this is crochet, and some people look down on, it's handmade versus, you can go to a store and buy it. And you can go to the store and buy this way cheaper than I could buy the yarn. One skein, the yarn alone in this was $9. Regular. I think I got it on sale. That's how I ended up with this. And I thought this would be pretty. So I just started on a shawl and ran out. I've debated buying some more of the same, or do I switch colors? Because I had a whole bunch of odds and ends skeins. And after working with this ombre one, this orange one, which I love the way it just, you know, transitions. I had this one. This is all one skein, and this one. And I started out with this. I wanted to make another shawl like the purple one with the pockets, and then I played around with making flowers. These are two different methods of making the flowers, and I like this one better. But I still have a lot of those yellow flowers that I made on that green shawl, and learned how to make the leaves and put it on there, and had the pockets, and just did the edging differently, trying to bring it all back together. But I kind of like this this mismatch. That. I still have a bunch of the green from the scarf, but I finished the scarf. And I showed this in the other video, how I kind of put a leaf on the edge of that, and then made the vine, and went all the way through. So, and then when I came to the end, I just made these two leaves, then this leaf. Hadn't tucked the tail in yet because I can undo this and do it differently. I don't really like, I think fringes are pretty, but they rarely stay pretty when you're wearing it. They get wacky. They're not in order. I guess it's an OCD thing for me. And having a bunch of these leaves just dangling off the ends and going sounds neat, but I don't think I would like that. And I think it would become a problem wearing it. So this turned out. I had a roll of this. I buy yarn at the auction. Just, I mean, like $3-4 for a bag or a basket of odds and end yarn. And because yarn is not cheap. I mean, you can see videos where people are going to the thrift store and buying an old sweater that they deconstruct just to get that yarn because it's expensive. And when you're spending, like I said, $9 for that orange ombre at retail, and then they had it clearanced out, I think it was $3. It's still, I mean, when you sit there and you need to have two or more of something, you're already talking $20 retail for just two skeins. So I made this one, and let's see, there's where I connected the ends to make it an infinity scarf. I thought about, I still got plenty of this green yarn, so I can come back through and make a vine like it's on, you know, growing on this. And we'll see. I may just do that when I have some time to just play around. I started on a new project. I got a bunch of this yarn. I am not enjoying it. You see where it's not consistent? It's tight and thin, and then loose and wide. But I thought, okay, it feels good though. The texture is lovely. It's just really silky feeling. So I'm just going to make this simple scarf. I don't think I'll add flowers to it because that will just make it bulky. Because I have so many flowers, and I love making the roses that I did for this one. I really like this one, yeah. And there's no real wrong way. I'll try to link both where I learned how to make these leaves and this rose pattern. And I was just trying to use up the yarn. I mean, I got these little scrap balls of yarn, and it gets annoying. See? And some of this was just from the baskets and bags that I would get at the auction. And there, I don't know. I mean, you can, if you take a bit of the yarn and put a little, like have a candle and just put it over the flame. If the, not focusing well. Uh-oh. And if the yarn melts, it's a synthetic. If it burns, it's a natural fiber. So that's one way to at least find out if it's wool or cotton versus a nylon, acrylic, which is what this is. This does not have a good feel to it versus these yarns. They have some nylon, acrylic to them. I think that's what gives them a little bit softer texture. This feels really, really silky, all of it. I have no idea what this is, and I've not done the burn test to see if it's synthetic or natural. But it feels really good. I love that. This one feels good too. Because, you're going to have it up against your neck and face. And this one I'm not so pleased with. I'm going to try washing it and see if that helps it before I add the vines to it and see what happens. But these are my Sanity projects. I have these this is a big one, old sewing baskets. I've gotten into collecting them. When I see them at auction, I'll just put a little bid on them. And most of the time nobody else is interested, so I get the bottom lowest bid you can get on them because no one else is bidding on them. And I have several of these. They have different stuff. This is where I started working with the purple, and this is what's left of the purple, because I started something and I didn't like it, and I was unraveling that, stitching it onto the new one. I have several of these. I highly recommend, even if your hands and wrists don't bother you, these compression gloves, they're fingerless, they really help. Now I used to unravel, I used to pull out the center and ball up, I need new tape, this is getting all gunky, and ball up the skeins. Like that brown one down there. Oh, I started making this and didn't have enough. I did this last night. All of this last night. Watching Expanse. We were binge watching. And I will probably add another similar type, but not same color that I have. But back to, I used to ball up. I bought some of these. And those are for a baby blanket. Here's my favorite compression glove. These are the tightest ones. They make a huge difference in not hurting later and being able to do more. Oh, this yarn feels so soft. Like, it's showing up white, I think, but it's a very pale pink. But I would ball up a skein. Now I wanted brown. And I'm probably going to make a scarf out of that one. It's going to be a huge scarf. That's a huge super. I like getting the super. Oh man. I don't think so. This one. Yeah, Super Saver. But that was a huge pound roll, I think. Or may have been a 2-pounder. Anyway, I would ball them up. Now that one was too big. These will fit, and I've been looking for the 3-liter bottles of soda. We don't drink soda, so I basically find the cheapest I can find. And what I did is I cut the bottom off and put the center, and it unravels beautifully. And as you can see, this got crushed even. Look at that. And there may be a tangle toward the end, which is going to happen anyway when you make the balls. and the balls will roll around. I normally put them inside of a bag and then put them inside one of these, and they roll around inside there without picking up crud from other things inside and getting dusty. So like when I go to use this one, I will probably leave it right there and let it just roll around in there. But these soda bottles, you see, I just put them in there. Don't cut it all the way, leave it to where it's kind of hinged, and you can feed it from the bottom. After you pull find the center thread and drop it, you know, put it in upside down and drop it through the hole, let it come out, and then close and tape up the can you see the tape? Tape up the unhinged side. This is where the tape on this is messing up. It's still pretty thick because I hadn't used a lot, and this is what I was using. It's a little bit brighter yellow than the flower I was making, but it doesn't have to be the same color. That's why I bought that orange. I kind of wanted a little bit more of a pop in the center. So compression gloves, using these sodas, and I even got, this was a little mineral water bottle. I like to just sometimes have something carbonated without having any flavor or anything to it. So same thing, don't cut it all the way. I didn't even worry about taping these. These were very, this is the finer yarn that I had making that gray shawl that I made. And they were in smaller skeins, and they fit very nicely in there and didn't roll around, and I didn't have to ball them up first. So I hated buying any of the sodas, but I asked around, and sometimes we'll have them at church, and I'll grab the bottles before they put them in the trash. So I did that. Sanity projects, because our living room had all these cabinets, 15 of them, 5 drawers in the bottom and 10 of the 2-door shelving cabinets, and all against the one wall, and I loved the way it looked, but I was always putting stuff in there, having to move stuff to get to the drawers, had to do some acrobatics to get behind and access some of the cabinets. And even after 5 years of everything pretty much, the very first cabinet by the door, it normally had Asian stuff. And then the second cabinet set had baking stuff. And then various canned meats and vegetables and salt and things like that. And for 5 years, my husband still asked, where's this, where's that? And this area is supposed to be formal dining room. It's between the kitchen and the family room. And it's either the breakfast nook or the formal dining room, because the other areas also, everything, all the common rooms are walk-through rooms. So I moved all these. I had help with I didn't even ask my husband. He didn't know what I was doing. He was gone, and he's gone today, so I'm doing this video and not interfering with his life. And I literally took the doors off, emptied them, of course, took the shelves out, lightened them as much as possible, and then moved them. And I was trying to make like a butler's pantry area, and this is not going to work. And this is a base cabinet that I've got at auction, I think $25. Plywood. I mean, it's not particle board like these are. So they can weather being in a garage and other areas. So this is going to go. This is actually 2 cabinets, 2 base cabinets that someone put together and did this top on it. And that is supposed to be a bathroom vanity. And this little area, I don't know, maybe for a china cabinet or something. It's just, but I'm going to get the drawer base here and a drawer base over on that end, and then put, there's not a room for a third, and I will put some shelves in between. And it will go pretty high up. I love my vintage luggage stuff. I'm bidding on some more today. I hope I win them. They're small and light blue. And I did have curtains on those hooks because there were just open shelves here before. My winemaking stuff, some wine I need to bottle. I just got lazy and I just taped the tops, just kind of close them up for now. I need to just remove these lids and put the proper lids on there. And I need to bottle them because they're well, anyway, that's another video. So, the insanity is trying to make room. I got to empty these out again. Take those down. Empty them out. These cabinets are going to be moved that way and face this way. I'm going to make more of an L. So I'll have, there's 5 sets, base drawer, drawer base, and the 2-door cabinets on top of that. So I'll have 3 of them here, one here, one there, open shelving. I'm going to display some of my pretties there. And then this way, and then this, so that'll be 3 of them. This is the 4th set. We're looking at the back of a 4th set. And I think eventually the food that's in there, it's going to be snack foods in the bottom in the drawers, the light stuff. And then games and videos, DVDs, whatever, other stuff in there. And this set will be backed on that, so you're not going to see the back of it. And so that's 4. And this 5th set is going to go across, and the books and stuff that's over there is going to go into that cabinet and that wall area. So all that's still left over there, I'm going to get moved. So you won't be looking at the back of that. And you see, this is the insanity part of my life. And I'm doing it to myself. It could have stayed there. But the living room already feels much bigger. My massage chair, I get in there twice a day now. So everything is crazy. And then when I watch TV with my husband, all this stuff, I'm not going to worry about it. We enjoy what we're binging on. And then I create. And I need a prettier ladder in here because I still want to access some stuff. This is great, but actually to get the angles to unscrew the hinges and stuff. So, I was storing stuff up there, thinking of ways to hide it. So all that stuff has to find new homes. The second shipping container is going to be processed, painted and everything, and more shelving put in there so that a lot of this stuff that don't belong in the house can go out there. But this is my insanity part of why I need sanity projects. And this is only, it's been really cluttered for a while, and things just, and a lot of these cabinets were staying empty because they were hard to get to because I had stuff in front of them. And I say me because it was mainly me. So all this stuff, this is the pantry that came with the house, and it just never worked. Still doesn't work. There's chairs in there because when there's a storm, all that other stuff gets knocked out. We sit in the chairs. This is the safest area. It's literally the center of this house, and no windows, and our storm shelter. But it has the hot water heater, so I can't put permanent shelves. It has to be something that can come down to access the hot water heater, which we've had to do once. I want to replace that completely. I would love to knock this whole thing down, not have a closet in this area, and have a tankless water heater. That's on the list, but way down low. So this is my today's project, and when I take a break, I'll be crocheting. Sorry it took so long, but thanks for staying to the end. Be a blessing and be blessed.